Greetings. Salam alaikum. Hotep. This is Mr. Kadar Muhammad. This is Nation Building Radio. Yes. We're going to touch on the issue today, and this is concerning citizens. Are the so-called African Americans born in so-called North America, are they citizens? Are we citizens? They so-called me that too. My name is Mr. Kadar Muhammad. This is Nation Building Radio. Are the so-called African Americans born in so-called America, are they United States citizens? A lot of people won't bring this up, but I'm going to break it and take it down to you. We, at the time that our ancestors were brought here, and of course there were black people already here. We have the Apaches, Seminole Indians. We have other tribes, Crow, what have you. Black people, black, dark skin, already here. I say this a lot, we are at war. We still at war. We were at war way back when, 1555, slave ship called Jesus. We were at war. We are at war right now. Are we really U.S. citizens, so-called North black Americans, what have you, born in the so-called hells of North America? Are we citizens? I ask you this. If a nation captures and uses a group of people and puts them into work, to work for them in their country, in their nation, and those individuals become POWs, prisoners of war at that point, quote unquote. If those prisoners who are captured by their oppressors, if they have children while they are under captivity, are those children automatically citizens of the oppressor? I guess if the oppressor wants them to, because he's the one in control of things, correct? Think about it. We in 2015. I'll say that again. If the oppressor wants that child that is born under his captivity, if he wants that child to become a citizen of his state, because he is the oppressor and he is empowered in order to grant citizenship to that child that is born under the circumstances of POW, then I guess that child is a citizen, if the oppressor says so. But morally and technically, they are not citizens, that child and that woman that bore that child, they are not citizens of the oppressor. It doesn't make sense. How can they be citizens when they were captured and forced to work, forced to have that child because of the captivity in the oppressor's land, or quote unquote, he thinks it's his land, his stolen land, or wherever it may be. If you're in captivity and you have a child in captivity, I'll break it down in 2015. If a woman has a child while she's in prison, that child is a ward of the state. Am I correct? Because the woman she's a ward of the state. How can you, in 2015, knowing your past, black man, black woman, Asiatic Nubians, born in America, how can you accept the citizenship from your oppressor, knowing that your foreparents were in an act of they were in a condition of POW, prisoner of war? So that means, and I'm going to break it down now, that means that our great-great-grandparents, a lot of us, were in captivity. They had children. Some of them were raped, abused. A lot of our great-grandmothers, raped, abused, forced, put in a condition, had the child during captivity, quote-unquote slavery. Now those children have children, still under the oppressor now. They still under the oppressor. The oppressor is still making the rules as time goes on. So now those children have children. And now we're talking 3 generations, 4 generations of POWs from the result of prisoners of war having children under captivity. So the cycle goes on. And then you wonder why everything is such a mess here in so-called North America for the so-called African American. Now you wonder why everything's a mess, because no one has ever, I don't know if anyone has ever broke it down to you like this, but we are at war, and we are the results of children that were born during captivity, during what is quote-unquote called physical slavery. Because right now, you can physically, I guess, walk around to a point. If you're not careful, you still get knocked upside the head with a billy club or broke down by the old nasty crackers. But you have what they call now, they have you in mental slavery. And I am breaking it down to you why it is mental slavery, because no one has ever thought about this. If it had been turned around and flipped around, if the cracker was the one being oppressed and we were the oppressors, and they had children under our oppression, I guarantee you they would have sense enough to know that they're not citizens of any kind of jurisdiction that we provide for them, because their parents were in slavery. They were prisoners of war. So how can the hell 100 years later you're going to come up and tell the great-grandchildren of the ones that you put into a prisoner state? They were prisoners of war, being oppressed. You're going to tell them now, the children, that, you citizens. No, it doesn't work like that. You just can't. So in other words, you're going to continue to follow the lie and take notes and take directions from your oppressor. When you say that you agree, yes, sir, master, I'm a citizen. You're not a citizen. You're still cowtown. You're still cowtied to the same bullshit that happened long time ago to our great-great-grandparents, and you still sleeping on it. You ain't woke up yet. You still ain't woke up. How in the hell can you be a citizen when your great-great-grandparents were prisoners of war, of the same oppressor that's telling you that you're a citizen? Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Bobby, Mark, Hassan, Greg. You got niggas with names like that. Greg and Bill and Bob. Mr. Qadar Muhammad, they come to me talking that bullshit. Mr. Qadar Muhammad, you're a citizen of the United States of America. How the hell am I a citizen of the United States of America when my great-great-grandparents were prisoners of war? How do you do that? If Al-Qaeda comes over here, if you capture some Al-Qaeda, supposedly, or some so-called terrorists or whatever the hell you over there supposed to be fighting, you bring them over here, and some of the women have children while they're in captivity. Are those children American citizens? Or are those children citizens of the nation where they came from, or are they citizens, period, of any nation? Especially if the children have children, then those children have children while they're in captivity in the United States. Are they citizens of the United States, or are they citizens of the nation that the aggression was brought about and they were brought from as prisoners of war? I'm asking you that. Answer my question. Deal with me, because y'all don't want to deal with me real. You want to talk all that nonsense. I'm going to break it down on another level. Keep messing with me. I'm the one that they've been waiting for. That's why I'm doing it like this. That's right. There's a lot of more things, little things I'm going to show. Because we're tired of this. You don't know the state and mind. You don't realize they got most of us so-called African Americans in the matrix. Nobody's brought this up to you. That your great-great-grandparents were prisoners of war. So what does that make you in 2015? You think you free? My name is Qadar Muhammad. Wake up. This is Nation Building Radio.